Hey guys, this is Jay here, aka Ultraman52, here with...
Hey guys, this is Tyler Burris, aka Near Too Cool, and we just kind of decided to start making a podcast on this channel, the Kaiju TiVo. And what we're pretty much doing is like there are gonna be other members like Zero Asian, and if you're familiar with Kaiserzilla 619, then obviously
He used to be known as
yeah,
Deadzilla619 until his account got deleted by Subaru Industries.
yeah. So pretty much what we're doing here is we're making a podcast that we feel is necessary because we feel like the kaiju community has too little podcasts. We need more podcasts and more fan input. And this podcast, this is pretty much just an introductory video. This isn't going to be like a review, or we're not going to be having a serious discussion in this video. What this is pretty much an introduction to us, so we can kind of give you a hint of what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing this along with 2 other people and maybe 3 other people later on, and also what we're going to be doing is we're going to be inviting guests like prominent figures in the kaiju community to talk with us, like our friends and stuff that are real.
Like the names that we just
Yeah, yeah.
mentioned, like Kaizilla and
Zero Asian.
Zero
And
Asian.
like one of them called Moya 2021, but you don't know him yet, and he doesn't have a microphone, so he can't really do commentary yet. And we have to wait for him. So yeah.
Yeah,
And
unfortunately.
there's all our other friends too, like our friends in the kaiju community. I'm sure they'll be willing to give us like interviews or just like join us for a podcast so that we can just talk about kaiju with them and stuff with you guys. And I figured you guys might enjoy this very well, and we're gonna be fan accessible. So whatever questions you have, we're gonna do like Q&As at the end. Like if you send us messages like your questions and like such, we'll answer them for you in like the next video or whatever. Because we want to have interaction with our fans. We don't just want to kind of blow you guys off. We want you guys to like feel important, which you are. Like we want you guys to feel welcome on this channel, and that's really that's like our big point. Is like we want fan interaction. And now you can take away, John. What do you have to say about the channel and the purpose of this podcast?
Well, basically everything that what Nero here just said, pretty much. That, like, we're also going to be possibly doing some other stuff, like maybe some kaiju fan audio commentaries where we do audio commentaries on certain kaiju films, maybe like the Gamera films, maybe some like that. Although, unfortunately, we cannot do things that are done by Subaraya or Toho because they have copyright issues up the butthole.
What he said, but really what we're gonna do is mostly we're gonna like do like reviews too, like us, like we'll be with friends like and reviewing movies and such. We're not just gonna like do commentary. Like what we're mostly gonna do is we're mostly gonna do a podcast, like questions and answers. We're gonna talk about like the history of kaiju and inform you about how the kaiju industry is doing right now. We want something that'll give you like a lot of news and information on kaiju and what our thoughts are on it, because we think that you guys deserve to know these kinds of things. And we're not just gonna talk about figures. We're gonna talk mostly about like movies and like even anime. We're not just gonna talk about kaiju, but we're gonna also talk about anime and stuff. So if you guys are into that, that's like really good. So like what we're trying to do here, we're trying to make a really kind of friendly environment for the fans. Like we want you guys to feel like comfortable, and we want you guys to like join us for an interview on the show sometime if you ask us, because like we want you to feel like you're a part of the kaiju community, which you are. So the more exposure you have, the better, I feel. So like I want you guys to just like come on and like do interviews, or like you can do guest reviews with us and stuff, or whatever. Like question like Q&A panels and whatnot. I think that you guys deserve you guys deserve to be heard, and you guys deserve to be, your voices deserve to be exposed, and we really think that you guys will hopefully like this channel because it gives you guys the opportunity to share your opinions with the world. And take it away, Jay.
So, do you think now, dude, that we should probably talk about like a little bit about ourselves and like like who we are and like how we got first into the whole world of anime or even
Sure.
kaiju?
Sounds like a great idea.
Why don't we first start off with you?
All right. Mine's a bit. My story kind of begins a bit differently than most people's. Most people, like in America's experience, like to Godzilla, like exposure to Godzilla as a children was a 1998 horrible abomination of a film made by.
Well, no, we can't really give it too much, like, bad talk, because it was a pretty good film, like, on its own.
Well, I'm not gonna get into that, because we have differing opinions. But I don't want to feel like arguing, because this is an introduction. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
basically.
we gotta keep ourselves sensible for this. So basically, my first exposure was actually my local video store had a crap load of Godzilla movies like on VHS. And what I would do is I used to rent Godzilla movies from there because he looked like a big cool dinosaur when I was a kid. I used to look at the box art and just like watch it. So my first Godzilla movie was surprisingly one of like the people consider it the worst, but I like it. Attack All Monsters Attack which most people don't like. But it was my first Godzilla movie, and coincidentally, that one was made for kids, so it's a good movie to start on.
Also known as Godzilla's
Yeah, who you get revenge on. But like it's actually a kind of a good movie to start kids on if you like have a kid that wants to watch Godzilla because it is for kids, and I think that's a big reason they got me hooked on it as a little kid. So I still have a kind of affection for it. I can't really say I hate it because even though it's not very good, I mean I have this deep-seated love for it because it's my first Godzilla movie, and that's what got me into the Godzilla. And I just kept renting them because it had like 5 Godzilla VHSs there when I was a kid. And I used to rewatch them. I used to rent pretty much the same like VHSs up until I think about I saw it and I was like I can only remember up to age 3, I'm pretty sure. But I was told I owned Godzilla VHSs. I guess my parents bought them for me when I was really young for some reason. I don't even know. I guess like when you're a baby, you just kind of like point at things, and I guess your parents get you whatever you want. And I guess I have some old Godzilla VHSs that I don't even know when they were bought for me. But like yeah. So pretty much what I did was like up to the ages like from 3 to like 8, I pretty much just like rented Godzilla movies and like watched the ones that I had on VHS. But then after age 8, they started to become available by like Sony and Columbia and like Classic Media, and that's when I really started purchasing them all and like learning about like how they are Japanese. And I kind of knew they were Japanese, obviously. It's not really hard to tell. And now I can pretty much understand the movies without watching them with subtitles because I study Japanese. I'm probably the only one right now on this podcast that knows like even a slight amount of conversational Japanese. I'm not like bragging or anything, but I'm just saying that like if like my friends need help like translating something or learning how to say like a monster's name, I can like help them with that. And like Godzilla really got me interested in like everything Japanese as a kid. Dragon Ball Z was big around the same time. Like I got into Godzilla as a little kid. So and the anime and stuff on Adult Swim and Cartoon Network. So like I'm really into like Japanese culture, not just because of anime and such. I really love the culture itself, like even back to old like samurai days, and like all the festivals and Japanese, the Japanese language and everything. I watch NHK regularly on Japanese news network, but yeah, just I love Japanese culture. I love Japanese movies. I love kaiju films, especially in anime, and like Japanese video games. So yeah, like that's pretty much like what I'm interested in, and I can owe it really all to Godzilla in the end. I think Godzilla really got me onto that. That and I used to watch like old kung fu movies when I was a kid. Those aren't Japanese, those are Chinese, but like Asian cinema in general, just anything from Asia really, I had like an interest in, but primarily Japan. And that's my story. So what's yours, John?
Well, with mine, it kind of also is a little bit of a long story, but kind of shortened. How I first got into the whole world of Godzilla is that, I really can't remember too well, but from what I remember exactly is that I used to, live in a place called Brooksville up in Florida, and my mom would, every, like, weekend or so, she would take me to my grandmother's house, and every time I went over there, there was, a station playing on, I think it was the TNT network, if I'm correct, called Creature Feature, and that's actually where I got to see my first ever Godzilla film. It's either, yeah,
Monster Vision.
My apologies, it's called Monster Vision, yeah, sorry about that. But, yeah, my first Godzilla film I ever saw on that station was actually King Kong vs. Godzilla. Now I saw King Kong before I saw Godzilla, so I really wasn't too big of a fan of his. And when I first saw King Kong, ooh, cool, giant, big gorilla, that's interesting. But then when I first saw Godzilla, I just fell in love with him because like he looked so cool, and plus I was really into dinosaurs at the time. So, and plus he just looked so mean and cool, and he was able to like breathe fire, and I thought he was just the coolest dinosaur ever in the world. And I like wanted to be him, but of course I couldn't because I'm not a giant dinosaur. But right after I saw King Kong vs. Godzilla, I was completely hooked on the whole world of kaiju. Well, mostly on Godzilla. I didn't know that there were other kaijus in the world. After that, like I said, I was just hooked on Godzilla. My second Godzilla film that I ever saw as a kid was Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, the Heisei version. And then after that, I saw other kaiju films like like Varan the Unbelievable, Frankenstein Conquers the World. My first ever Gamera film that I saw was Gamera Guardian of the Universe, and I also got to see my very first Ultraman series, Ultraman Great, which was the British Ultraman series.
Australian.
Then I saw, yeah, oh yeah, I guess it was Australian. It's been a while since I've seen the series, but I also saw Ultraman Tiga, the 4Kids dub. Oh my god, just a terrible dub. And that's also kind of where I got into anime a little bit. First ever anime that I actually saw was Dragon Ball Z. Then I kind of saw other anime series like Sailor Moon. Don't ask me why.
That's a good show.
That.
I like Sailor Moon.
It was on TV. Yep. Yeah. Although people would only watch it for like the hot anime girls, but whatever. But I kind of I watched it for the story. Yeah, it was. Yeah. Then I also saw a lot of other animes in my time. Like after I saw some other animes, I kind of like laid off on it and got more into kaiju. I started collecting Godzilla movies on VHS. I actually still have some. And then I started to collect Godzilla toy, which I actually have a butt ton of those. And also, that's where kind of also I got to say my first ever kind of gritty anime, kind of adult and really serious anime called Evangelion. I saw that when I was playing with some of my Godzilla toys at my grandmother's house. I saw it on TV and I said, "Oh, cool, giant robots." And once I thought that just monsters getting their limbs ripped off, which is so cool. It was violent as crap, but it was still pretty cool to watch.
Not to be rude, but could I interrupt you for a second? Real quick,
sure.
Just if you want to ask Jay here, I'm pretty much the Ava expert of the group here. I love Evangelion. It's my favorite anime show, and this is to add to what you said earlier, Jay, about Sailor Moon. Can you guess that the Japanese voice actress for Sailor Moon is Misato in Japanese? Kotono Mitsuichi. Yeah, Mitsuichi Kotono.
Seriously? Okay,
yeah, just had to add that.
I did not know that actually. I learned something new today.
I'm sorry for interrupting. I just wanted to put that just to say that little tidbit of information. Your turn.
It's alright. And of course, after Evangelion, I saw more serious anime. Is that
more serious?
Seriouser?
More serious.
Yeah, then I saw more serious animes, well, to name one serious one that I thought was just fantastic was Code Geass: Lelouch the Rebellion, and that was just a fantastic anime, including the sequel, Code Geass R2, and of course the upcoming third season, which I have no idea what's even I can't talk right. What it's even entitled. All I know is called Code Geass, and that's it. Yeah, that's pretty much my entire life of anime and kaiju in a nutshell. A big nutshell, well, actually a coconut, I should say. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
We're trying to make this at least 15 minutes long, or maybe 30 minutes. But I think we got most of what we have to say, down to 15. So we're just going to talk for about 2 more minutes about just what we plan to do real quick, and then I guess we'll just this will be the end of that video because we pretty much got everything we had to say out of the way. So yeah.
Oh, and also a little heads up for those of you who actually heard a little banging sound in the background. That actually was me. I dropped my remote control for my TV on the floor. Just to let you guys a little heads up, just so you know, just in case if some of you were wondering, what was that bang?
That's what she said. But
I knew you were gonna pull that one on me.
The thing we said earlier, we will have more members on here and such. We have our, a bunch of friends that are gonna be permanent members of the podcast, and then we'll have you guys, the fans, who if any one of you guys wants to be a part of it, just email us. We can't get you all at once, but we are gonna we will try to get two of you at a time on there, and we're gonna get around to all of you. So just be patient. If you send a message and we don't reply instantly, we will reply to you eventually, because we want you to feel we want you to feel important, because you are important to the community, and we really respect your right as fellow kaiju fans to be a part of our podcast, and we would actually be really happy if you guys would be a part of it. So, fan interaction is something we think is very important, because it allows other fans to express their opinions. So yeah, we're not gonna like rip you to shreds if you come on here or anything. We're gonna respect your attitudes and your views very much. You know, we're gonna be very considerate of you guys. So all I gotta say is you guys are welcome here anytime, and yeah, that's about it. So I guess this is Near Too Cool signing out for this podcast. Hope to see you next week.
And this is Ultraman52 here, also saying the same thing. And until then, guys, sayonara.
Sayonara. Alright. Ja, mata ne.